Real estate developers and architects have often told us that the customer preferences have changed a lot in the recent times, especially to do with millennials. But the real estate accessories industry has also upped their game. Today we have a very unique player from real estate accessories industries who have made it an art out of fans and lights. And today where we are at his showroom is exactly the kind of products that he sells to real estate developers and architects. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for being here, sir. Welcome to our showroom.
Let me start by asking you, what is the range of products that you have with you?
Fantastic. So we do designer fans or luxury fans per se. The reason we call them that is because fans were originally a last mile purchase electrical product, which we have made.
I know what you're going to say now.
What is that?
Usually, many of the accessories companies say that real estate projects are huge, okay, hundreds of crores. But then accessories like elevators, lights, fans, tiles, and all that come at the end of the project cycle, and there is no money left. So there is hard negotiations going on,
Always. I think one is in terms of negotiation, two is in terms of availability, and so it means they're always inventory high businesses. And so people would initially walk in and say, I need this tomorrow, I need this next week, because my housewarming is next week. And so what we've made the effort for is to take that last mile purchase product and advance that decision making process to maybe a few months before that, so that people can accommodate it as a designer product, less of an electrical, more of a decorative product.
Mr. Tarun Lala, what you have said makes a lot of sense also in terms of the fact that the last mile thing that you have said is perfectly fine. But then how do actually people react to that kind of situation? Are you able to make that decision making or advance that decision making to an earlier time?
We have been able to. I think earlier it used to be about 90+%, and now I think last mile purchase is between 10 and 20%.
Really?
And the way we've been able to do that is, one is, of course, we work with interior designers and architects. We've been able to create 3D models of the products and add it to the softwares that interior designers and architects use to create those design renders and show it to their clients even before they start working on their bare shell apartment. Today we have about 120 plus designs. We've had 30 designs that maybe are out of commission right now. So we've had 150 designs that we've offered to the clients. So when people need to look at their mood boards and design their homes and choose furniture and choose wallpapers and everything around, where the plants would go, where the TVs would go, so on and so forth, where the sitting area would go, automatically now they're not just assuming any fan would come, which originally were never in the design renders. The feedback we got was that they were a little bit of an eyesore. Today, they have to make that decision on whether to match it, complement it, offset it, or make it a hero piece in that particular room altogether. So yes, that decision making
Mr. Lala, you have said so many things in that particular statement of yours. First point is that it also reminds me of what many of the real estate developers would say, that when it comes to the major decisions that you have to make about cement and steel and all that, it would always be the architect and his team of members in that team.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to interiors, it's usually the architect's wife who tells everyone that what should be the color, what should be the interior, what should be the sofa, and all that.
Absolutely.
So how has your experience been when it comes to decision making? In various other fields also, you often have the situation where decisions are taken by various members of the family. Okay, so how has been your experience in that?
I think we've seen full families come here. We've seen people take multiple trips here, sometimes with the interior designer or the architect, some with their families. We see a lot of people walk in on Sundays. We even had a family recently who the couple loved one particular model. Then they came back. They came back to buy more pieces. One of them was for the daughter's room, and both the daughters were sharing the room. One daughter liked a different fan, the other daughter liked a different fan. So
what is the kind of customer trends that you see in this? Is it according to age, or is it according to generation, or is it according to male, female? How does it work?
I think interestingly, if you see the latest luxury trends, at least online, and as a side note, our entire industry seems to be in a state of flux, especially post-COVID. There is a lot happening. There is course correction and valuation happening. People are moving to bigger homes. They're working from home. They want to study. People are buying homes. They're renting a second home. There's a lot going on in terms of the real estate, home, residential industry. And today, there are certain segments where they say the new money is buying more, and the new money is a younger crowd who has made money in the last half to one generation. There is the older money, people who've been in traditional businesses, manufacturing, so on and so forth, who have made a lot of money over the years. There are people who have second generation, third generation, so on and so forth. I think fortunately, because we are such a new product to this market altogether, India had never heard of this product 10 years ago. Google searches were zero. Today, we're seeing all of the above showing interest in this product and adopting this product. So we find ourselves at a very fortunate juncture, because not only are people adopting, but more people, as they're getting aware of this product, more people are warming up to it, and we're seeing people who are comfortable spending for this product online as well.
Okay, Mr. Lala, now when it comes to all those things that you've said, it reminds me of what once, I guess it was the Credai chief in Mumbai who said that there is a particular trend that is seen among the luxury residential flats and the middle or the lower income. Most of the lower income have got very airy, very ventilated and brightly lit houses, while the luxury houses are less ventilated and less natural light. What is your experience in that? How does it work? Is that true, or is it too much of a what to say?
I think it depends. I think it really depends. I think this question is hardly black and white. I think it's a huge gray area. On the luxury side, if you look at the new total environment homes, for example, lovely looking villas, very well ventilated. The architecture is such that they induce cross breezes. You have balconies and terraces in opposite sides of the home, so you have amazing cross breezes. You have amazing sunlight coming into it, and so. But I think
does that have any particular impact on your kind of product research and product releases?
I think it's an overall mindset that's changing a little bit. I think people who were solely dependent on air conditioners before are aware or have experienced long-term effects, whether it is the sustainability angle, whether it is whether it is just experiencing the AC on all the time, and they love the fresh breeze, especially when you're slightly away from the city. The villas and independent homes are coming a little on the outskirts, where the air is also a little better. So if you induce air from a fan, and that helps either with a cross breeze, or it's helping the cross breeze vacuum larger volumes of air from the outside, I think people are choosing that a little bit more. And the more they have kids, especially the new money, right, which is the 40 years old, they made money over the last 10, 20 years, they have kids now between the ages of 1 and 8, they want healthier lives for their kids. And so I think it's creating a positive impact. It's slow but better. And even in places like Bombay and Delhi, where people are very, very dependent on the air conditioners, they are turning on the AC for a little bit and then allowing the fan to do the rest, which is where some of our features come in, because then we cater.
I was about to ask you that. How does the features, correlate with all these varied demands of customers?
So I'll highlight one particular feature, which is what we call the summer winter feature, that we believe accentuates the person's experience. The summer winter is where basically the fan can go in the anti-clockwise direction as well as the clockwise direction. So you take a remote and switch the direction in which you want the fan to flow. Now the anti-clockwise direction is like how any fan moves, gives you the breeze downwards.
True.
The clockwise direction moves in the opposite direction and vacuums the air upward in the opposite direction, like how an exhaust fan does.
True.
Now why do we need something like this? Originally, we said in the winters, it gets very cold outside. Think of Delhi, think of Jaipur, anywhere in the north really.
True.
When it's cold outside, you don't want the breeze on you. But what happens is that people shut their windows, they sit inside. It tends to get a little stuffy.
Absolutely.
So you want a little bit of circulation. Turn the fan in the clockwise. It vacuums the air upwards so that you don't feel the breeze on you. And you feel better breathing because you're breathing out carbon dioxide. And so that circulation gives you a very comfortable environment, which is why we originally named it the summer winter feature, because you usually use that clockwise direction feature in the winters. But when we introduced it, then we realized that in the summer, you can turn the AC on for about half an hour to an hour. The cool air that settles down from the AC, you turn off the AC, is vacuumed upwards and spread across the room in the clockwise direction. We saw the same thing over a dining table. Instead of getting the breeze on you or over the food, you turn it in the clockwise direction and it's a more luxurious environment. We also did a little study where in the bedroom, 8 out of 10 couples tend to disagree on whether to use the fan or not. And the clockwise direction then makes a nice little sweet spot in the middle. So we started discovering more use cases for this feature, and we believe that overall it accentuates your fan experience altogether.
Oh my. I mean, that is quite something. I read that thing about summer and winter in your website, and I kept wondering, what the hell was it? Seriously, it's a great idea.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, every time I tell somebody about the 8 out of 10 couples, they tend to correct me and say that's incorrect. It should be 10 out of 10 couples because they always disagree on whether to use the fan or not.
Yeah, that point. Okay, yeah. True. So let's come to the point of, how do you see how your future panning out in the midterm and the long term? Because there have been reports not just in India, but all over the world that, the real estate as well as urban infrastructure is going to have a boom. So how are accessories companies like yours poised for that growth?
I think there is, like I said, the whole industry is in a state of flux, not just in the
even now
building behavior, even now. I think until the uncertainties of COVID go out the door, there has been a course correction in the values. You look at a place like Hyderabad and it's a booming real estate market. Some of the values that we've seen over the last 1 year or 2 years is basically a backlog of what should have happened since the split of the states over the last 5-6 years. The demand for what people want to sell apartments is at such a high right now, despite some people may say that supply is higher than the demand, but again, that's just a matter of time. It's in a constant state of flux. So until the uncertainties are outside the door, it will continue to stay in a state of flux. The other state of flux is that a lot of brands, especially in the accessories sort of industry or accessories domain, they are now not necessarily just B2B through architects and interiors. I think with online platforms such as their own website or Instagram or Pinterest, they are educating the customer on how their experience can be accentuated through the power of online. And people are now more comfortable spending online or adopting new products from newer brands as long as they are happy with what they see, what they hear, or in our case, what they can't hear, and how it can just instigate customer delight. So to your question, yes, it is in a state of flux. Builders per se don't necessarily have to spend on items like these because they are more expensive than the conventional comparatives. But going directly to consumers, people are okay to buy more because if you see, people are okay
Mr.
spending.
Lala, there are two things here.
Yeah.
One thing is that there are lots of developers who now give fully furnished
Yes.
luxury apartments
Yes.
with fancy kind of items available. I mean, what to say, all the kind of amenities available.
Yes.
So in that situation, won't all these luxury products also feature?
You're right about it. It's still very small and very slow right now. The reason is because people making luxury homes want to include all these things, and we're absolutely open to working with builders. I think we are at a stage where if you name the top 10 builders in Bangalore, we are lucky enough to have sold something or the other to them, whether it's for their personal homes or whether it's for projects. That being said, for smaller companies like us, the traditional credit and paying behavior is something that smaller companies like ours are not very attracted to. So while you're right, it has started where luxury homes are coming fully furnished and they want to accommodate products like ours. It will be a little while until we can change that buying pattern for them, for us to have an independent free flow system where we don't have to get involved and try to negotiate those terms.
Okay.
Parallelly, what we are doing is going direct to consumer and trying to sell to them, because we're educating them about the benefits of this. The builders will keep it as a decorative product and as a functional product, but they don't necessarily educate. So today builders are accommodating at a very small amount. They are reselling these, which is incentive for them as well, at a very small amount, but most of them are still not. So while this change is happening, it's happening at a smaller level and a slower level. And at the same time, direct to consumer is improving and increasing. So parallelly, we see that shift.
No, Mr. Lala, why I asked you is that question is because in Mumbai, we have noticed one thing, that a lot of new ideas are coming into real estate, which was never seen before. Okay, now they give a complete residential flat with nothing in it.
Yeah.
Okay, then each of them can decide where the wall should be, where whatever they want to have.
Correct.
How big the rooms want to be, all that. So that's the kind of, and I guess there is one where you can even shift the walls.
Yes.
To make it look different almost every day.
Right, right.
So those are the kind of things which are coming in. That's why these ideas, suddenly, give a spark.
Absolutely. So in fact, everything is coming in. The flexible as well as the inflexible, for multiple reasons. Vastu compliance is a big reason for it to come
Hyderabad?
in. Hyderabad, Bombay, Bangalore, everywhere, sir, everywhere. Prefabricated concrete, precast concrete, all of those are coming in. And they have their own varied level of flexibilities. Absolutely. 3D printing is coming in other parts of the world. Absolutely. And it hasn't come into India as of yet, but I mean, I see that in the near future coming in as well. Bare shell is absolutely great to have, where you take care of at least the plumbing, ventilation, some of those simple things, and the remaining people can do it themselves, because everybody has their own personal attachment. We call it the IKEA effect. Textbook, where people build their own furniture and automatically they feel a lot more emotional towards it. Okay. A home is very similar. When it takes your own inputs and you build the home the way exactly you want it, you build your master bedroom the same way you want to. My parents right now find the need to break a wall and expand, take 2 rooms into one to expand the master bedroom. Because of course, me and my brother are not at home, and that's something they've been wanting to do for a while. But like you said, I think some of these newer things are coming, because then people can do exactly what they want to with their spaces.